What do you mean the singer isn't coming anymore? Am I supposed to cancel an event this big? That's not my fault anymore. Wait. Please let me go up there. Sometimes we run away from our calling, but it always finds us in the end. Sandra, that was the only name she remembered her mother ever giving her. Family, something she never truly knew. Her father had a serious drinking problem and left home when she was just a child. Her mother, the woman who gave her life, rejected her for looking too much like him. She told her straight to her face that she was a mistake, that she never should have been born. Thrown into the streets, Sandra saw no other way out but to drown her pain in alcohol, trying to silence the guilt and sorrow. Every night she had the same dream. In that dream, she told her story through a song, before thousands of people listening in silence. One ordinary day, Sandra fell asleep on a park bench after an entire night of drinking. Then she heard a sound in the distance. It was a band setting up the stage to welcome a famous singer. Sandra's heart started pounding fast. It was as if something inside her whispered, "Your time has come." Struggling to stand, almost crawling, she made her way toward the stage. People stared at her with judgmental eyes, the kind that condemn without knowing. Sandra ignored them all. As she reached just a few steps from the stage, she overheard a band member and the organizer arguing. "The singer canceled last minute," Sandra shouted. "Wait, please, let me sing." The crowd went silent. She grabbed the microphone and something extraordinary happened. With a trembling voice, she began to sing, carrying deep scars that no one had ever cared to understand. Among all the bottles she once drank to forget, she now heard a whisper inside her soul. "I still count on you." Through her darkest days, she fought not to fall, and every time the ground gave way, something inside her helped her rise again. She heard the ancient promise, even when she had no strength left to move. And a flame lit up inside her soul when that same voice said, "Now I know who you are." Today I sing what once wounded me. My story became my altar, and those who thought there was no way out now listen to my song. I know your heart cried with mine through this beautiful story. Don't forget to comment amen so I know you were here with us. Share and follow our page so you don't miss more stories like this one. Everyone in my village mocked me. They laughed because I was the only one who believed in God. One day the king made a cruel law. No one was allowed to believe in God anymore. The people reported me to the king. They wanted me thrown into prison. But I kept praying, just as I always had. I was captured and dragged before the king. He ordered me to be thrown into a cage full of lions for the night. As we reached the cage, the king laughed and said, "Let your God save you now." I was injured and thrown inside. I couldn't move. The lions stared at me as fear filled my heart. I cried and prayed, "God, please help me." As the lions began to move closer, suddenly, an angel appeared. With one clap, every lion fell into a deep sleep. Morning came. The king opened the cage and froze in shock. I was alive. The king began to cry. I shouted, "This is the power of my God." If you believe in God, comment amen. Like this video and subscribe for more faith-building stories. "Sir, I'm here to buy this car." The man laughed. "Get out of here, filthy beggar. You don't even have money to eat." Those words pierced Jorge's heart. Jorge was 80 years old, thin, tired, forgotten by the world. His clothes were torn, his feet bare, and life had been unkind for many years. He had lived on the streets for a long time, but inside his heart, one dream was still alive. As he passed a luxury car dealership, his eyes stopped. Behind the glass stood a beautiful sports car shining like hope. Jorge took a deep breath and walked inside. With a trembling hand, he touched the car. A harsh voice shouted, "Hey, don't touch that!" The owner looked at him with disgust. Jorge calmly said, "I'm going to buy this car." The room exploded with laughter. "You, get out! You can't even afford food!" Jorge walked out quietly. But that night he prayed, "Lord, I believe nothing is impossible for you." Days later, everything changed. A lawyer found him. A distant relative had passed away and left Jorge an inheritance. For the first time, no more streets, no more hunger. He bought clean clothes, rented a small home, and then returned to the same dealership. When he walked in, the owner froze. Jorge smiled, pointed to the car, and said, "I came to buy it." That day, Jorge didn't just buy a car. He proved that God lifts the humble and honors those the world looks down on. Today, he drives with tears of gratitude and says, "They laughed at me, but God made me victorious." Comment amen if you believe God can change any life. Like if this story touched your heart. Subscribe, follow for more true faith-filled stories. They called the kitten useless. Until this happened. A rich boy found a helpless kitten shivering on the street. so he brought it home. His parents were angry. "Send it back," they said. "It's ugly, it stinks." But the boy begged, and they finally let him keep it. One night, something strange happened. The cat scratched wildly at the parents' bedroom door. The father opened the door angrily and shouted, "Get out of here, you useless cat!" The cat scratched his leg and ran away. The father chased it, yelling, "If I catch you, I'll break your neck." The cat ran into the boy's room, jumped on his bed, and started meowing loudly. The father was about to hit the cat, then suddenly stopped. His son was shaking, shivering, having a seizure. He immediately called an ambulance. At the hospital, the doctor said, "Your son has severe epilepsy, but he's safe now." Then the doctor asked, "He keeps calling someone named Sammy. Who is that?" With tears in his eyes, the father replied, "That's the cat that saved my son's life." That day he learned a lesson. God works through the most unexpected ways. Never judge anyone. Be kind to every living creature. Type Amen if you believe God sends help in unexpected ways. Like and subscribe for more true, heart-touching stories. A well-dressed man stood quietly outside a company building, picking up plastic bottles people had carelessly thrown on the ground. He placed each one into a bag without a single complaint. Nearby, a couple of employees were eating lunch and watching him. The young man laughed and said to his girlfriend, "Look at that." He tossed his empty bottle toward the man. Without saying a word, the man bent down, picked it up, and added it to the bag. "Is being an office beggar trendy now?" the young man mocked. Both of them laughed. The girl shouted sarcastically, "Hey, come pick up mine too." As the man walked closer, she splashed the remaining water from her bottle onto his face and threw the plastic on the ground. Their laughter grew louder. The man calmly wiped his face, bent down again, and picked up the trash. A few minutes later, they watched him hand the full bag to an elderly homeless woman nearby. Still laughing, they crossed paths with him again shortly after. This time, he was walking toward a man in a luxury suit standing beside an imported car. "Look," the girl laughed, "now he's going to beg the manager for money." But the moment the man in the suit saw him, he rushed forward and said, "Mr. President, you arrived earlier than usual." "Is everything all right, sir?" The two employees froze. The man, the owner of the company, turned and looked straight into their eyes. "Demote them," he said calmly. "I want them working as cleaning staff, so they can learn what it feels like to be treated like trash." If you believe this was a powerful lesson, comment Amin. Like this video, subscribe for more meaningful stories. Share this story so others can reflect. He was being bullied for his jacket. But what he said next left everyone speechless. Oliver stood in the middle of the playground as children laughed at him. "What a funny leather jacket you're wearing," one of them shouted. The school bell finally saved him, and he went to class. The headmaster introduced a new pupil. "Everyone say hello to Sophie." But as the teacher hadn't arrived yet, the teasing continued. "Why do you always wear that ugly jacket?" "It looks stupid," a child mocked, throwing paper balls. After school, Sophie gathered courage and approached Oliver. "Hey, I'm really sorry about what they did. Wouldn't it be easier to just take your jacket off?" Oliver looked at her and said, "Today it's my jacket, tomorrow my shirt, and then something else. I'll never be able to please them. This jacket was my father's last gift before he died, and I wear it to remind me that the people who truly matter will love me no matter what I wear or how I look." At that moment, Sophie understood. We should never change ourselves to please others. True love and respect come when people accept us for who we are. Drop it if you believe in being true to yourself. Comment Amen, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more inspiring stories. My dad fell from the roof. When I ran outside, I saw him lying there, unconscious, barely breathing. My heart dropped. I didn't think. I just called an ambulance. That night was terrifying. At the hospital, the doctors told us he had severe head injuries. They said he might never remember us, and might never walk again. They told us only a miracle could save him. I fell to my knees and prayed, "God, please save my dad." A few days later, something unbelievable happened. My dad opened his eyes. At first, he couldn't speak or move, but day by day, he began to talk. Then one day, he took a few steps. The doctors ran more tests. Every bit of damage was gone, completely gone. They called it a miracle. I fell to my knees and cried. This is the power of God. If you believe in miracles, comment Amen. I still remember that moment. My dad fell from the roof, and when I reached him, he didn't move. His eyes were closed, completely silent. With shaking hands, I called the ambulance. That night felt longer than my entire life. The doctor said he had a serious head injury. More tests were needed. By morning, everything changed. They found major brain damage and rushed him into emergency surgery. My mother couldn't handle it. She collapsed, crying, praying, begging God. After hours, the doctor said words I'll never forget. We don't know if he'll recognize you. He may never walk again. That night I cried like never before. I prayed with all my heart, God, please don't take my father. 2 days later, something unbelievable happened. He opened his eyes. He couldn't speak. He couldn't move. But he was alive. Days passed. He spoke again. Then he stood. Then he walked. Finally, the doctors checked his brain scans. They stared in silence. The damage was gone. One of them whispered just one word, miracle. I fell to my knees and cried, this is the power of God. Comment amen if you believe in miracles. Like for more real faith stories. Follow for true stories that will restore your faith.